state of no mind. What does that mean? As I explained to you years ago, in this case, I use the linear thought process as mind, or the automatic process as mind, the automatic pairing as mind. So it is a state of being where this does not happen. I also use the example of a baby coming into the world. The baby is present. The human being is present. The human being is there with all the potential of a human being. It sees, it hears, it learns. As Yahushua or Jesus, whatever you'd like to call him, said, "Lest ye be as the little children." He's not talking about childishness. He's talking about a state of consciousness where the linear process is not present, but the seeing and understanding of what you see is present. A Japanese master of the sword, Musashi, and I just thought about this morning when Kevin and I were talking. He was a man who fought 60 battles to the death, never lost a battle. The thing that he said was, you must recognize what you see. You must recognize what you see. Not what your mind tells you you see, but you must see it clearly and respond to it clearly. Here's a man at 14 years old killed his first samurai with a stick. At 14 years old, a seasoned fighter. He took a stick and said, all right, that'll be enough of this. I'm going to take this stick and At 14, he had sight. He had sight. The point is, again, it is from this base that we see things. It is from this base, if we are to be just people, it is from this base that we must live. It is from this base. And when you carry such attitudes as, I want to be right, I want to prove something, whatever all these things are, you want to do that because you don't feel powerful. You don't feel, well, I want to be right. You need to hear what I have to say. I get angry when you don't listen to what I have to say. That is because I do not feel adequate. So it is the thing of not feeling adequate that is the issue. It is not the issue that's happening out here. This is the thing that we must take the time to stop and go, I must recognize myself. When you have to be right, or you have to look at me, listen to what I have to say, you have to recognize your own problem. Your problem is you don't feel good about who you are. You don't feel competent. Because you have to insert this, if you'll look at it, you have to insert this all along the way. Just as this person recognized, oh, I felt a little out of sorts, I had a glass of wine. Well, the glass of wine was the size of a fifth of wine. Okay? Oh, I only had one glass. Yeah, it's like a person who weighed 300 pounds said to me, well, I eat one meal. So one meal, yeah, all day. One meal. One glass of wine, the size of a fifth bottle. That's lying to yourself. See, this whole thing is predicated upon your honesty with yourself. Sometimes we get into trouble because you'll say, well, tell me what's wrong with me, and I tell you, and you get angry. That's not my job to tell you. Finally, I will stop telling you because that's your job. That is the individual job. If that person desires to truly get better, because I've told you what the rules are. The rules are the individual must be honest with themselves. They must be looking for the truth. You have to be looking for the truth within yourself. This is the only thing that frees you. If you don't do that, then you're going to become angrier and angrier, and you're going to create some big mistakes, and you're going to have to pay the price for those mistakes. And sometimes those prices are very high. Sometimes if you work for somebody, it can mean a job. If you're in a relationship with somebody, it can mean that relationship. You know, because people don't want to deal with madness. And that is madness. That is simply madness. And we must understand what madness is. It is being unreasonable. When the issue is about 2 + 2 is 4, and your issue inserting it is, I can prove that my ideas are good too. Well, that's two different things. One is, it's not about you. It's not about the individual. It's about this. Here, it is about what a person who wants to understand is willing to do to understand. It's about peace. You know, when I say Jesus or Yahushua or whatever name you want to call him by, said, lest ye be as the little children, that's just a broad statement. You have to understand what that means. Lest ye be as a little child, with the curiosity of a child. Why is that? And wanting to know why that is. But it's about yourself. It's about clarity. Clarity brings about peace of mind. Clarity about yourself. And once you've achieved the clarity about yourself, it turns to the society. And you understand because you become clear about human beings in your society. Then you become clear about the world. And when you're at peace about you, you're at peace about what you see in the world. You do what you can to help facilitate growth in that world, but you are not worried about what is happening in the world. You're not going around trying to change the world like a bull in a china shop. You change the world one person at a time. And how you deal with that. I often laugh about my relationship with the Muslims. I was invited to come to a meeting. It's like I laugh about it. I said, well, I don't know if I'm up to be shot or what. What was said to me was, thank you for paving the way. We're honored to have you here. Like, me? Yeah. Wow. Okay. I can be non-political or non-tactful because the truth is not political. The truth is not tactful. I would never make a good politician. I would never get elected to office because they say, did you do so? Yeah, I did it. If you want me, I did it. Whatever it was, I did it. I'm saying I'm broad to accepting the fact a human being is a human being. If we think we're going to get gods elected to office, we're stupid. We are people, and people do things. So I'm prone to just, here it is. I've been invited back to do some programs. Point is, when you are there and people's minds are open, they hear you. If they don't hear you, just walk away. It's as simple as that. Stop. Stop talking. If it is their job and you work for them, it's their job. If they ask you what you think, you tell them what you think. And if they didn't ignore it, they sign the check. You don't sign the check. They have the right to that particular philosophy. If you don't like that philosophy, you have another choice. Leave. What we're talking about is peace. Now, you can't do these things unless you're at peace. You're not at peace when you are frustrated. That is obvious. It is obvious. It should be obvious to you. That's why it is important to tell yourself the truth about what's happening. Well, I'm right. I can do this. A truth. Nobody cares. You are the only one. You are the only one who cares. People are into their own worlds. It's as simple as that. They are into their own worlds. You are a cog in their wheel. It's as simple as that. Know who you are. And that comes from that place of no mind, having the linear process put away, the automatic process put away. You can only make a difference by understanding. You can only understand by observing. What do you you observe? Your own behavior. I can only understand you by understanding me. Everything in this world is a reflection. It is not the thing. A tree is not a tree. It is a reflection of the Creator and a reflection of the mind that observes it. A tree is a living creature. A plant has feelings. To another person who looks at the tree and sees dollar signs, it has no feelings. It has no consciousness. It's not alive. We see different things because they are reflections of our mind. I get it all the time. And if you could see when people do that, what I thought about them, they would really be upset. When you accuse me of things and I say in my own mind, you know, you're really showing me who you are. You're crazy. If you really saw me and saw what I thought about that kind of behavior. It's not a judgment. It's just that that is what insanity is. You're looking at me and projecting your stuff on me and claiming it's me. Well, I don't have anything to do with that. What am I going to say to you? How am I going to have a conversation with you? If you talk to me, I'm very quiet because I can't talk to you. You have to see the reflection of yourself in how you deal with things. The reflection of yourself. At some point, you begin to see yourself. And then you begin to see others. Wow. You don't judge them because you have done the same thing. Then ultimately you begin to understand. A tree or anything else is just a reflection of a creator. It's a reflection of a law. That is why you have to understand the laws of nature are the laws that are natural within you. Because what is natural comes from what you're made of. Natural, nature. Nature, not nature in terms of little bunny rabbits and little things flying through the air. That which is natural to all things. You look at something and you have a sense of pain for its suffering. That is natural. I sit here and I do what I do because I have a natural sense of pain for the suffering of my fellow man. I see why they suffer. And I sit here and say, you suffer because this is what you do. That's why I sit here and do it. I certainly am not getting rich. Matter of fact, I'm getting poorer by the day. All one needs to do is look and pay attention. There's a reason why I do this. Because naturally in me is that feeling of pain when I see others suffer. And all I'm saying is, look, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to. Why are you causing yourself this unhappiness? This pain, and that's what you are doing. No one else can cause you pain. It is your idea that causes you the pain. You can be beyond that, but what is natural in you is the pain and suffering of seeing suffering, so you naturally want to do what is natural to help. And one of the things you do is you not look down upon people. We look down on others. Oh, you poor things. Oh, let me help you up, you poor thing. That is awful. See, I'm going to look you in your eye and tell you, you fucked up. You might not like the words I used, but what am I saying to you? I'm saying, look me in my eye, you are me. And here it is, raw. Truth is raw. It's not good or bad, it's just true. And so I use raw statements to help you get past the rawness of the statement to understand. Because the way you see that statement in its clarity is offensive. And the way you see that, because of the way I said it, shows you who you are and how you judge the world. I'm saying you are my equal. Well, some of the Muslims, one of the brothers said to me, brothers, I've not heard you say and use the word brother. And everybody's brother this, brother that, brother. Say, I'm not your brother. What do you mean? I see you as myself. That is closer than my brother. If I see you as myself, why would I say brother to you? I will treat you as I treat myself. Why would I call you brother? I don't call myself brother, my brother. You are me. Before it was over, a young man who I taught when he was in high school said to me, I am you. He says, you taught me that when I was in high school. It's like, oh. Now, I didn't say that to him when he was in high school. I treated him a certain way. He understood it. All right? When you condescend to others, you're not treating them godly. Oh, you poor little thing, you. Get out of here. And some people want to be treated that way. They want to be treated as a child. They call that love. Well, see, that's a part of the clarity. That's a part of what has to be scraped away so that we can be clear. Treating you like a child is not loving. Treating you as God itself is loving. And expecting you to live up to that is loving. When you live beneath that, it is not loving. But when a person is comfortable with living beneath that and you treat them as an equal, you treat them in a godly fashion as they are godly, they get upset. Well, you just don't give any breaks, do you? No. Why should I give you a break? Why don't you live up to your potential? Why don't you live up to being godly? Why don't you live up to what you are? Why must I look down on you? You insist that I look down on you. Walking up the street one day, I probably told you this story before. A couple of kids out there having something to do with Greenpeace. Well, hey, Grandpa, so, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I said, well, what's your grandmother's name? What? So I must have had sex with her. I didn't use the term having sex. I was a bit more raw. Oh, now, Pops? Oh! So I did your mother too? Well, Tom, no, what I'm saying to you, don't condescend to me. I ain't your grandpa, I ain't your pa. I said this to you in this way to stop you from condescending. What you needed to say was, I'm representing Greenpeace. Would you like to contribute? That's what you needed to say. But here you come with your condescension and thinking there's nothing wrong with it. So I let you know about what I did to your grandma and your mom. Both of them. Now you got your feelings hurt? Good. You got your feelings hurt. That lets you know what it's like when you come to someone in a condescending manner. Now you know what it feels like, man. Cut that crap out. And the other thing, young people, don't smoke that shit before you come out on the street representing Greenpeace. If you're going to smoke it at home. Don't come out here in that condition. A lesson was given. Clean, elicited a feeling in them. How did I know I would elicit a feeling in them? Because it's in me in that same configuration. It was in me in that configuration. I know you when I know me. I understand. I understand. You know the world when you know yourself. When you see what they're doing, you pay attention. Oh. Now, the thing that you understand through your clarity, through lack of the judgment of the linear thought process or the linear mind, this is the nature of the world. You are in a kindergarten. Go to any kindergarten. Watch the children. You will see that same thing at play in the world. This is the way it is. You are not going to change that world. You can make a difference in that world by how you deal with those around you, by how you are, by your clarity, by your clarity. If you're not clear about your own lack of confidence, you got something to say. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show them that I am of value. The only thing you show them is that you're stupid. That's what you show them. Because of the way you come. You're thoughtless. You're emotional. If you are truly clear, are truly of greater value, and see yourself, you see them, and are able to position yourself in ways you achieve things. If you are truly of value, because of the way you see. A good football coach understands young men and uses what he understands about young men to get them to do the right thing. If he's not a good coach, he tries to force it. You have losing records. You can't force it. Because you understand what's in you, you see and understand what's in them, and you use that to get them to do what needs to be done. What needs to be done. What needs to be done. This comes about because of clarity of view. Any emotionalism, that doesn't mean you don't have feelings. Remember the definition that I've given you. Feelings with thoughts placed on top are emotions. I can have feelings, but when I have those automatic thoughts on top, I am emotional and reactionary. I do not respond to, I react to. React to what? What's going on in my head? a fight between Musashi and one of the other great masters of Japan. The great master of Japan was noted, well, for instance, let me say this first. Musashi had no master. He was a guy who just kind of learned on his own. He tried to get accepted, but nobody would accept him. Okay? Now, this guy was noted for his focus, his concentration. They set up to meet at 8 o'clock that next morning to fight to the death. At 9 o'clock, Musashi was just getting out of bed. Sat down, took a shower, had eggs and bacon, or whatever they have in Japan for breakfast. Went and had a manicure. Gets to the island. By the time he gets to the island, the great master of focus was pissed off. Musashi killed him with one blow. His peace was a contrived peace. His focus was a contrived focus, pretending to be something he really had not achieved. But he could hold that focus long enough to destroy all the other people he had met in battle. But because Musashi knew what he saw, he knew that he could disturb his peace. So by not showing up on time, the guy was, well, you know, I'm always on time. Why aren't you on time? Well, you wasting my time. Well, blah, blah. Okay, I'm here. Chop. See you. You see, when you're dealing only with your consciousness, with the clarity of being, you're not waiting on anything. You are where you are. You are. You're going to blow it. You're going to blow it. See, this is all very simple. I have tried to keep it all very simple. I'm letting you know what the rules of the game are. So sometimes I do understand why we want to make it complicated. I know that we want to protect our bullshit. And that's just what it is, bullshit. So what am I going to say to you? Except maybe not answer your call, maybe not answer your question because you're wasting your time as well as mine. Saying to you, why don't you go somewhere else? Why don't you go do something else until you're ready to listen? Not because I'm being mean. What's the use? If I say we've got a boat race today, and you got to show up with your paddle, and you show up with a teaspoon, why are you there? This is about paddling the boat. You got to have a big paddle. And you got to understand how to do it, switch, how to do it. Everybody's got a paddle and you got a teaspoon. That just doesn't make any sense. And to expect that it makes sense is what madness is. Madness is not this really bad thing, foaming at the mouth and biting people's throats out and stuff like that. You know what makes evil so successful? It's simplicity. Now, when I say evil, I'm not talking about evil. I'm talking about what evil really means. What it really means. It only means this in the Walt Disney religions. There's no such thing as that. That's what makes it so insipid, so interwoven. It's because we accept it as okay. And we use such terms as, I have a right to be this way. Well, yes, you do. But you have a responsibility to what is true for yourself. What is it we want? He defeated this man because the man was not truly at peace. Not truly at peace. Pretended to be at peace. This is why I say to you, don't pretend. Be it. Be it because you've taken the time to understand. No matter how much turmoil goes on in here, you take the time to understand the turmoil. Not what you project as the reason for your turmoil. Because you're saying, you're putting it out here. The truth is the reason for your turmoil is in here. How you view yourself. And even when you view yourself in a very stupid way, and you meet someone who does not view you that way, you will project on them and thereby make a new enemy. Someone will say, well, no. You say, well, have a cup of coffee with me. No, thanks, I don't drink coffee. And go home and make a pot of coffee. They're saying no to your behavior, or to that behavior. To that behavior. So, carrying those things with us make enemies. And we say, well, I want to have friends. Well, you must be a friend to have a friend. And that means letting this go. Letting it go. Clarity. Clarity of purpose. Societies have become great for us, but the other side have become horrific for us. We think it's okay to sit around and have conversations and get upset with each other, when the fact of the matter is we should be being quiet. We make things that are not important because we have been taken and removed from what is natural. Survival in the wilds. These things are natural. So these things were important. But as we have been taken away from them, we have become involved with the superficial. And the superficial does not improve our lot. Now, I'm not saying we should go back to living in caves. I'm saying we should become clear. If we're going to have a meaningful 5-hour discussion, it should be about something meaningful. How do we solve our problems as a society? How do we make things better as a society? Discussions, not arguments. Discussions. How do we do that? Clarity of mind, clarity of being. A real clarity of being. a real clarity of being. Not a pretend. You look at these airy-fairies, oh, pretending. No, that's just silly. Life is real. Let me just flit around here and there and there. Oh, why, oh, why. Oh. Good God. What? I want to be bubbly and friendly. Nobody cares. It's a pretense. People aren't that way, naturally. That doesn't mean that you're not happy. I learned when I was a high school football player. We were playing a game, and we were down by 24 at halftime. The coach came into the locker room and didn't say a word. Tears just rolled down his cheeks. We went back out there and we won 34-24. We were going into the championship and we were down, I don't know, by 10 points. And I happened to be walking in behind the coaches. And one coach said to the other one, all right, who's going to cry this week? It's like, okay. Okay. All right. I get it. I see what you're doing. Well, these other things are like, see, that elicited a feeling, an unspoken feeling. This rah, rah, rah is a bunch of words and a bunch of noise that elicits a floating on air feeling with no substance. So the moment you go out there and somebody smacks you, your balloon is burst. Oh, one is real. It elicited real feelings. Wow. Our coach cried, man. Yay, 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 cheerleader, cheerleader. Nobody cares. You don't even hear the cheerleaders on the sideline. You don't even hear them. Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. It has to be real. The change in you must be real. You create your reality from what you are. What you really are, not what you pretend to be. Well, I'm going to take on this kind of personality. And this is where you see the airy-fairy spiritual peoples taking on this kind of personality. What'd you say? Blah, blah, blah. What? Speak up. What they don't understand is that enlightenment brings you to peace. And in peace, you speak as one naturally speaks, as the mechanism works. I'm not sitting here going, as the mechanism works. You hear me, and you hear me loud and clear. I'm speaking loudly enough for you to hear me. I will use the energy that comes in within me to say, what? What do you say? Ah, okay. Or no. I'm not pretending to be something that I'm not. Be what you naturally are. That is the way it should be. Not a pretense of any sort. You sound like a mature adult when you do that. not like a child pretending to be something you're not. Coming to clarity, you see the world and you take advantage of the world for what it is. That is what you're supposed to do. That is what intelligence does. That is the measure of intelligence. How one makes sense of their environment. You see, when you are full of insecurity, you go through the world making enemies because your insecurity is projected out on them. And even when what you see is about an issue, you make it about people. The world is about issues. About issues. What can I do to make the issue better? Simple as that. It is what it is. Children playing at being grown up when you have to really be grown up. But if you don't see that, then what do? Become a child, just like they are. We have all kinds of issues. All kinds. Filtered through our insecurities, our doubts, our fears, trying to prove ourselves in the world. I have nothing to prove. Nothing to prove. That's why you don't see me arguing with people. There's nothing for me to prove to a moron. If you're clear, you see. If you're not, you want to debate. I have nothing to say to that. Quite often, when new people come into my lectures, we don't have so much here, but in New York, one of the first things that I'll say is, this is about learning. This is what I'm going to say to you. If you can't deal with it, there's the door. Leave. Now. I'm just letting them know. I'm just telling them the truth. This is the way this is. You want to discuss, you want to debate, go somewhere else. This is not a place for discussion or debate. This is a place for here is what it is. You don't believe that? Leave. I don't care. All I'm saying is, here are the rules. We like to say, well, nobody knows. Bullshit, I know. We like to say nobody knows because we don't know. And we'd hate to think that somebody knows something more than us. We don't know. People don't know. So even as you come to know, they're going to project it upon you that you don't. So, would you argue? You drive down the street down there and there's a big octagonal red thing that says stop. Do you get out of the car and argue with it? It's not going to change. So why would you argue or debate with someone? See, you have to know. They are going to change only when something smacks the hell out of them. Then they're going to have a question. Only until then will they have a real question. One of the things that people waste their times with so much is they will call me and ask me superficial, nonsensical questions. I used to try and answer them. I don't even do it anymore. Well, this happened between me and so and so and so. I don't care. You're not even asking the question that is of value. The question that is of value is about what went on inside of you. What you did inside of you. I don't care about all that because it's a superficial waste of time. Why are you wasting your time with that? Cut straight to the chase. This is a part of what happened that night. I stopped bullshitting and went straight to the quick of the matter, straight to the issue, honest with what the issue was. With myself. And that is what I'm projecting. Straight to the issue. You have to go straight to the issue with yourself. You only do that when you're clear. When you're clear about what the purpose is. Now, what's your purpose? What is your purpose? Is your purpose to get clear? More clear? Is your purpose peace? Is your purpose understanding? Is your purpose to be the person that you, the being that you are, not the person, the being that you really are? What is your purpose? Is my purpose to maintain my insanity? Well, if your purpose is to maintain your insanity, this is not a place where you should be. Because I will constantly disturb you. Constantly. You bring me foolishness, I will disturb you. That's what I do, because this is about clarity. Let's stop dallying around the issue. You will see for yourself. A lot of the issues that you perceive as problems, you will see for yourself what the answers are if you but become clear. Look, your linear thought process has the value, well, let's say your linear thought process as it relates to your consciousness, as it relates as a penny does to $1 million. Literally nothing. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a value. But when it's filtered through this, it always comes up short. It always comes up short. I have no problem with religions. No problem with the essence of religions. I have a problem with religious people because of the way they misunderstand things. We have accepted foolishness, things without looking at them. The debate between science and religion is just stupid. Just absolutely stupid. A scientist reports the law. A nitwit says that can't be true because God didn't do it that way. Obviously God did, because there it is. There it is. How can you be stupid enough to debate with what's right before your eyes? A man said to me once, I said something about going to the moon. He says, man has not been to the moon. God lives up there. How thoughtless. We have accepted something that we don't understand. Go to India. Ask the people on the street, do you practice yoga? Okay, what? No, that's what old people did years and years ago. That's in the past. We don't practice yoga. Americans practice yoga. All I'm saying to you, we have lies, linear words that have been programmed into us without the understanding of what those things mean. Therefore, when it comes time to be it, we have no idea. No matter where you go, one of the things I've said to you is that in my travels throughout this world, I found out we're all the same. We're equally stupid, we're equally smart, we're equally don't care. That makes us equal as groups. Very simple. You have to look for the truth and accept the truth. Accept the truth. Accept the truth. I met Louis Farrakhan. But anyway, he was there and he asked the question, how many Muslims are here? Hands shot up. How many Christians are here? Fewer hands shot up. How many Buddhists are here? Fewer hands, but how many Jews are here? One hand. I wonder why. And for some reason, his eyes kept falling on me, and I never raised my hand. Later, Muhammad says to me, he says, what are you? I said, I'm all of it, and none of it. So what I deal with is simply what is true. And what is true is the essence of all religions. Now, when it comes to religious people, the lies start to happen. The lies start to happen because we start to put this on it without dealing with the truth and saying, wait a minute, I'm a jerk. I saw something yesterday where the guy says to another guy, he says, you're an asshole. And he says, now that we know my name, okay, I accept that. All right. You got my name, okay. Once we understand that, accept that, now we can deal differently with the world. We cannot pretend to be something we're not. We can't do it. That is what most religious people do, pretend to be something they're not. The only way you will know God is the godliness within you, is to live by the truths that are within you, the truth forces that are within you, the things off of which all reality comes, the truth. Death is a truth. All things die. All things die. All things die. If it's a thing, it's going to leave here. Now, is the question, do I sit around and mope and cry because I'm going to die? Why are you wasting your life? You're going to die. Why not live? And live with depth. 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 Not superficiality, but depth. Depth of law of being. Depth of law of being. I'm going to die, therefore I am alive. I am alive right now. I'm going to have a good time, even if it's doing nothing but cleaning out my toenails. I will have a joyful time. It will be fun. Don't you remember when you were a kid and you start doing your nails or something and you get so involved you'd be drooling and stuff? You never had that when you were a kid? You get that sensation. It's like, oh man, this is really nice. This is where we should live. Depth of being. I'm alive. I must experience this moment. Now. Now. Right here, right now. Didn't say what. The linear mind says, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. Well, shut up. You're doing this. Stop talking. You're doing this. What are you doing? Doing this. I'm eating. Am I eating so fast I can't taste my food because my mind is going 1,000 miles an hour about something else? Shut up. Taste it. Although some of it you may not, you go, oh. I don't know. One of the reasons why my food is mostly put in the blender. Drink it down. Put some vinegar in there, some wasabi in there, with all those various greens and stuff. You can't taste that. Ugh. Drink it down. I taste it. I drink it down. I feel it. Ah, okay. Don't taste like bacon. It's done. And every day, I feel better and better, and then I'll hit a plateau. Then I feel better and better because I adjust every day what I'm doing. I adjust what I'm doing to fit the moment because I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment. I'm experiencing the moment. Why? Because I'm going to die, and I'm trying to make sure that every moment I have is filled. I went to sleep the other day, and I dreamed a new workout. It's like I woke up and thought, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Why waste a good nap? Present. You must be present. You must be present. The only way you're going to be present is that when this mind thing stops and you see things clearly. If I am alone and if I die alone, it's fine. I would have lived. I would have done what I needed to do. I don't always remember things, but I remember Coach from Cheers. Coach had a memory problem. And they said to Coach, Coach, you know, you lose things. Your memory is gone. He said, yeah, it makes a nice break in the day. You gotta be alive. Take that break. Don't get upset. If you can do something about it, do it. Figure out how to do it. I can't always tell you how to figure things out. Some of that is on you. You know, if you look in certain ways, I'm getting better and better and better in certain ways. Why is that? Because every moment maybe if I tweak this way, okay. Maybe if I tweak this way, the clarity and the question brings an answer. Let me do this, see what happens. Okay. I started out juicing. Yeah, okay, did pretty good. Whole food, when I'm juicing, I'm missing something. Whole food, liquefied. I would start out with that much juice. All right. Maybe I should eat it like it grows. Okay. This is why you can't eat cow and pig. I mean, you can. You run out there and take a bite out of a pig if you want to. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat it. I can't tell you what to do. But I'm saying if it's going to be raw, you better... There you go. It might look at you and go, oh, raw. So, each thing becomes better and better and better because you think about it. You tweak things. You tweak it. You tweak. You tweak. You tweak. You tweak. But the most important thing is consciousness. It can overcome things you eat. It can overcome things that happen to you, physical things that happen to you. Consciousness. It is the creator of the universe. You can't forget what is the most important element. Your consciousness. It is the creator of the universe. The creator of the universe. So don't think you can't get better just because of your attitude. You can. But it has to be a clean attitude. A clean attitude. You can't pretend that you don't think negative things because it's there and you spend time with it, therefore you create something negative. Okay. Back to the bottom line. You must take the time to understand. Your technique is designed to position you to observe so that you can understand. But if you go right back to entertaining the same madness, you're not going to be able to understand. If you go right back, you look at what you see and you don't relax and let that energy move, it's going to be the same madness that got you there. So all you're going to see is the madness. If it moves, you get the opportunity to see something else. Oh, it moved. Oh, what does that mean? Asking the proper questions so that you can understand. The proper question so that you can understand. It's about understanding. No one can give you understanding except yourself. And you have to use that which is godly within yourself to understand. I don't care if you had 50 years of foolishness, it doesn't matter. 60 years, 70 years, it doesn't matter. It matters what you do right here, right now. What you do. And that includes how you do it. What you do includes how you do it. If you're not accustomed to searching for the truth in the midst of nonsense, you give up. But this is what you have to do. When a scientist sits down to find a solution to a disease, it just doesn't jump out and say, ta-da, here I am, solution. It's to sift through all the nonsense. But you must be focused to sift through the nonsense, to arrive at the truth. You must be focused. Paying attention with the rules that we projected to you here. Because these aren't my rules. Those are the rules of understanding. What you need to understand. Your attention needs to be focused. How focused? It depends. You see, when you are in the state of clear consciousness, you see very wide things. Your focus is not just a tiny thing, but a very large thing. Notice, when you are totally focused in your mind, you don't see what's going on around you. All you think is thinking about, your focus is on what's going on in here. So you're an accident waiting to happen every moment because you're not paying attention. You're focused. All of this information comes in. All the stimuli, your ears, your eyes, your nose, your taste, your feelings. All of it comes in, brings information, and you can respond. Clear mind. It's not going to happen by magic. There's a price for everything. The price you must pay for clarity, you must pay non-clarity. That's the price. The price you pay to receive focus is non-focus or limited focus. Clear up your mind. It's work. It's not magic. Everything will be right there. All the laws are everywhere. You need to pay attention to those laws. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. How do I get along with other people? How do I get along with people here in this group? I don't. How do you do it? No, I don't mean I don't. I mean you don't. How do I do it? Stop projecting my crap on them. Talk to them. No, I'm not saying do that. That's not an edict. I'm just saying here's the law. You have to talk. Not be bossy, not be pushy. Talk. Everybody's on the same journey. We're just seeing that journey from a different spot because our crap is different. Our crap is different. When nobody's got crap, there's no problem. We can talk about, oh, well, let's do this, or let's do that. What's the advantage of doing that? The advantage is this. Oh, okay. Because I'm listening to hear what the advantage is. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Any team, successful teams will tell you, I like football. Successful football teams will tell you, we're all on the same page. We understand what the philosophy is, and we execute the philosophy. Nobody has to be right. What we have to do is understand what the plan of attack is. You do what you're supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do, and all of a sudden, we win. Oh, what a novel idea. Cooperation. Putting your crap aside. Well, I think there's a difference in, okay, I think so-and-so. Well, let me see, what do you got to say? Oh, okay. Not, I think. No, there's a difference. I told the story about once I was talking to a guy and I said, well, you do this, or whatever. He went and told some other people. Ananda said to me, whatever. Are you stupid? You don't know the difference between, well, whatever and whatever. What the hell's the matter with you? Whatever was in you. That's the way you would use it. You didn't listen to me. My whatever is whatever you want to do. It's not up to me to tell you that. Not that childish whatever. You get the hell away from me. Creating issues where there are no issues. It's very simple. Listening is different from hearing. I heard the words. Listening means, did you get the content? Did you get the content? I've said about certain sounds, let the sounds bathe you. You say, well, I don't like listening to that. Where did you hear me say, listen? Where did that come from? There's a difference. Letting the sound bathe you. Letting it create the vibrational frequency, the natural and right vibrational frequency inside of you. You're filtering it through this and start talking about, well, I don't like that. You know why you don't like it? Because you've been so used to being wrong. When something is right, you dislike it. An unhealthy person starts to feel healthy. Oh, I feel weird. You feel different. You see the difference? I feel weird. Well, you feel different. The thing is, what does this mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? One last thing about that, and I'll let you go. When the last heart attack happened, and I went in and they hooked me up and everything, and they called my cardiologist, and they said, well, there's some abnormal things here, but it doesn't say that he's having a heart attack. Cardiologist says, take him seriously. This guy can diagnose a heart attack even before his heart knows it's happening. There's a reason for that. Because the slightest thing is like, what'd you say? Heart attack coming? I got you. Because I heard the whisper. I heard the whisper. Why have I got to wait until it's yelling? Oh, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Oh, I'm about to die. No, it's time to get to the doctor now. And people, oh, are you all right? If I wasn't, I know. The clarity. Clarity. The slightest little thing, I'm on it. I'm on it. Let's get it now. You take this right back to when you start to react, you're supposed to know right here. Not out here. You can't miss it. Because how can you miss, you can't miss that. It's like saying, Ananda, do I have a headache? How the hell do I know? You're supposed to know. You know that dong, dong, it's called a headache. Each individual's responsibility toward themselves to pay attention. To pay attention. Clarity of mind. Clarity. Doesn't have to be a long thing. It's in this moment. How clear am I in this moment? Right here, right now. How clear am I right now? How much do I recognize right now? Am I talking so much I can't recognize that there's something wrong? I'm usually talking too much. I'm usually saying what I want to convince myself of. I'm carrying on stupid conversations with imaginary people that aren't even there. This is what I'm going to say if so-and-so happens. Don't you know that you say that even when so-and-so doesn't happen? Because you've been practicing. You're waiting on something to happen so that you can say it. You're not paying attention to what's going on. Be very clear. Be at peace. It's okay. The world is what it is. Live in it. Live in it for what it is. You just make sure that you're not a part of the insanity. Or go ahead and be insane. That's up to you. It's up to you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you in a couple of weeks. Enjoy.